So do you guys know one thing that I love more than roasting woke video game haters lately? It's got to be roasting the Mary Sue. And I did a video about the Mary Sue attacking Nerdrotic that blew up on the channel. And now we have another example of just how ridiculous the Mary Sue is, because now they're choosing to hate against J.K. Rowling like they always do. And they're calling the upcoming Harry Potter series, which again, I guarantee is going to be woke, but these people don't even realize it. They're calling the upcoming Harry Potter series unnecessary.
Who's retarded now?
Yeah. Now, you got to wonder, why are they calling this particular TV show unnecessary, ladies and gentlemen? Why would the Mary Sue even be talking about this TV show in the first place? These are the same people that sometimes even refuse to name J.K. Rowling by name, but I guess they had no choice here. There's a headline here from the Mary Sue that says David Zaslav makes it clear J.K. Rowling is still very much involved in Max's unnecessary Harry Potter series. They're just thrilled to be working together. So let's get into this article, guys, from the Mary Sue. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into the YouTube algorithm. Now, I'm laughing because of Hermione's face here pretty much is the face of everybody who's ever dealt with the Mary Sue. If you read a Mary Sue article, if you watched Mary Sue on Twitter, if you did anything like that, you'll realize very quickly that this is probably going to be how your face looks whenever you deal with people like this. So it says it's been a while since we heard any news regarding Max's extremely questionable Harry Potter TV series, but it looks like it's still happening and even has a release date target on the books. Why would this be an extremely questionable TV series? There is nothing questionable about a Harry Potter TV series. That is so stupid, man. I swear, these people will do anything to try to make it seem as if J.K. Rowling or Harry Potter is the worst thing that's ever come out ever, but it's very clear that it's not, and people love it. It says Max announced the series in April of 2023, detailing plans for a decade-long series based on J.K. Rowling's novels, while sidestepping concerns about the author's history of transphobia. Per the original announcement, each season will be authentic to the original books and bring Harry Potter and these incredible adventures to new audiences around the world, while the original classic and beloved films will remain at the core of the franchise and available to watch globally. Chairman and CEO of HBO and Max's content, Casey Bloys, said at the time, "We are delighted to give audiences the opportunity to discover Hogwarts in a whole new way. Harry Potter is a cultural phenomenon, and it's clear that there is such an enduring love and thirst for the wizarding world. Here's everything we know about the new Harry Potter series so far." And that's very true. Everybody loves that. Well, not everybody, but there's a lot of people out there that love Harry Potter. So much so that Harry Potter has ingrained himself in different theme parks. Harry Potter has its own store in Manhattan. Harry Potter is so massive that it's just one of those, it's going to go down in history as one of those stories that would just always be remembered. It's always going to be reprinted. It's always going to have special editions. It's always going to have a fan base. It's always going to be followed around because it's a special story. Now, I don't care what people say about the story being a ripoff of XYZ. Everything could be a ripoff of XYZ if you look hard enough, but it's still a great story that people thoroughly enjoy. And the funny thing is, and I've said this many times, the people who hate on J.K. Rowling, the people who hate on Harry Potter, if they just sat down for 5 seconds, that's all it will take, 5 seconds, and just shut the fuck up and really listen to what she is saying and what's in these books, they would realize that they would have an ally to their cause very quickly. But they can't just shut up. They can't just sit there and just be quiet and just take in information. They have to constantly be yelling at you and be in control of the conversation because they feel like that's the only way that people are going to listen to them. It says, we don't have an exact release date, but in Warner Bros. Discovery's Q4 earnings call on February 23rd, it was announced that the series will hit Max in 2026 and is slated to run 7 seasons, with each book being adapted into an entire season. Now, will J.K. Rowling be involved in the new Harry Potter series? Well, guess what, genius? She's still alive. She created the fucking story. Of course she's going to be involved. The only way she's not going to be involved is if they paid her enough to not be involved. She even said this herself. They could never pay her enough to get her there. So of course she's going to be involved. Plot twist, you know what I mean? And then it says, yes, she will. Regarding the new adaptation, Rowling said Max's commitment to preserving the integrity of my books is important to me, and I'm looking forward to being part of this new adaptation, which will allow for a degree of depth and detail only afforded by a long-form television series. In that same Q4 call, where the release window was announced, Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav did a bit of gushing gushing over his partnership with the out and proud transphobe and letting everyone know she's very much involved in the project. My God, dude. Mary Sue is the worst. Literally the worst. Out and proud transphobe. You gotta love it. You have to love it. Listen, Mary Sue. All the writers that Mary Sue, the biological women that are there, you might be okay with your own erasure. You might be okay with sharing bathrooms with women that women pretenders that have dicks. You will be perfectly fine with that, and that's all fine and dandy. If you experience that in your life, go for it. I'm happy for you, but you shouldn't then force other women to have to deal with that as well. Women who feel unsafe with undressing or being around men in their bathrooms at any given time. There's a reason why there's separate bathrooms to begin with. If you're okay with it, fine. Have at it, but that doesn't mean that you should force other women who are not okay with it to be okay with it. That's when it gets ridiculous. It says, we spent some real time with JK and her team. Zaslav said, according to Variety, both sides are just thrilled to be reigniting this franchise. Our conversations were great, and we couldn't be more excited about what's ahead. We can't wait to share a decade of new stories with fans around the world. Rowling would be executive producer alongside Neil Blair and Ruth Kenley Letts, while David Heyman, who worked on the films, is set to return as well. There is currently no showrunner. Rowling's involvement in development and production of the controversial reboot will only add to its increasingly negative legacy. The author has not been quiet about her transphobia, and many Potter fans have turned away from the Wizarding World because of it. Bullshit. Bullshit. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. Showcase to me stats. How many people have given up on Harry Potter because of supposed quote-unquote transphobia? Because I'll tell you right now, I've been to the Harry Potter store in Manhattan, and I personally saw an ungodly amount of blue-haired psychopaths in that store. People who were very clearly, or at least they look like anyway, very clearly, were left-leaning individuals. People who I guarantee you vote very progressively, and yet every single one of them were inside the Harry Potter store enjoying themselves because they love Harry Potter. So please, Mary Sue, provide me with statistics of how many people have left Harry Potter due to exactly transphobia and nothing else. I guarantee you, you're talking out of your fucking ass, and you cannot actually provide any sort of information. It says, during a presentation for members of the press, Blois deflected a question about Rowling's transphobia, saying, "No, I don't think this is the forum to discuss that. That's a very online conversation, very nuanced and complicated, not something that we're going to get into." I'm glad he said that's a very online conversation, because that's ultimately where it begins and ends. Like we saw with the video that I made on Gina Carano, how you had thousands of signatures, right? Thousands of signatures trying to get people to ban Gina Carano from the Fan Expo in Vancouver. And then what ends up happening at the protest with all those thousands of signatures? Only 4 people showed up, ladies and gentlemen. 4 people. That proves right there that Twitter is not real life. And we say this all the time. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, is not real life. And that's why I'm happy that he actually said this is a very online conversation, because that's what it is. It's a conversation that will take place online and will never showcase itself in real life, because people in real life are too busy going out there and enjoying Harry Potter. If they are fans of Harry Potter, that's what they're doing. They're not sitting there talking about bullshit transphobia that doesn't exist. That's what I swear, man, these people are so stupid. Our priority is what's on screen. Obviously, the Harry Potter story is incredibly affirmative and positive and about love and self-acceptance. That's our priority, what's on screen. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, that should be the only priority when it comes to making a TV show. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.
You're the worst character ever, Charlie.
I know.